Okay. Okay, I'm ready to get started. Could we turn the camera on the ladies?
When do we get water?
All right, y'all stand up.
Okay, good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Buenos días a todos. Esta es su comparecencia inicial en el condado en el Tribunal de Primera Instancia del condado de Clayton.
My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court.
Mi nombre es Brad Gardner y yo soy un juez en este tribunal.
I am not here to conduct a trial of your case or to take a plea in your case.
Yo no estoy acá para tener un juicio en su caso o para aceptar una declaración a cargos.
I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you,
Estoy acá para informarles cuáles son los cargos que se le han imputado,
to advise you of certain rights,
para decirles cuáles son sus derechos,
to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail,
para otorgarle fianza en aquellos delitos que se me permite otorgarle una fianza,
to schedule a preliminary hearing.
para programar una audiencia preliminar.
Uh-oh. Looks like we may have lost the male side. I'm going to give it a few moments for them to log back on,
Yes, sir.
because the one person that needs your services is on the male side.
Yes, sir.
So today is just going to be one of those days.
Yes. Sometimes the sound is a little choppy when I connect the headsets. If that will be better.
Okay. Is the sound from what I'm giving, is that being choppy?
Yes, but more than that, I think that it seems to me like there's a lot of background noise that I'm picking up. So I'm trying to see if this will eliminate that a little bit.
On the female side, would you mute the microphone for now? Thank you. Sometimes that causes some of the background just feedback.
Yes, that is a lot better, Judge. Thank you.
Okay.
And I guess the bad thing about it is that as interpreters, when we have a lot of background noise, that causes a lot of distraction for us. Because we want to make sure that what we hear is what you're saying.
Right. Because sometimes I can hear the feedback when I'm speaking.
Yes.
And so I'll slow down.
It seems like we're getting the male side back.
Okay, we're back.
We're back, sir.
Okay. So let me see. Where I left off is, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
Y determinar si usted requiere la asistencia de un abogado.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Usted tiene el derecho de permanecer en silencio y no decir nada.
But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you if your case goes to trial.
Pero si usted renuncia a este derecho, cualquier cosa que usted diga durante este proceso podría ser usado en su contra si su caso va a juicio.
So please don't discuss the facts of your case.
O sea que por favor no hable de cómo ocurrieron los hechos.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights.
Durante este y todos los procesos siguientes, usted tiene los siguientes derechos.
the right to the presumption of innocence,
El derecho a la presunción de inocencia,
the right to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors,
el derecho de que se le formule una acusación mediante el jurado indagatorio si es un delito grave o que se le formule una acusación si es un delito menor.
the right to a speedy and public trial by jury,
El derecho de tener un juicio público, rápido y por jurado.
the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you,
El derecho de ver, escuchar y contrainterrogar a los testigos que sean citados a testificar en su contra.
the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf,
El derecho de citar a testigos para que testifiquen a su favor.
the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense,
El derecho de testificar a su favor o de presentar pruebas para ser usadas en su defensa.
the right to have an attorney represent you.
El derecho de tener un abogado para que los represente.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify.
Si usted no pudiera contratarse un abogado, se le podría nombrar uno si usted califica.
Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail.
Alguno de ustedes se le va a permitir pagar fianza sin restricciones para que le permitan salir de la cárcel.
These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property.
Estas fianzas pueden ser pagadas en efectivo, usando una compañía de fianza o usando una propiedad.
If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond and fees in cash to the sheriff's office.
Si usted paga su fianza en efectivo, alguien tiene que llevar la cantidad total de su fianza más las tarifas adicionales a la comisaría.
The sheriff's office will hold the cash and return it at the end of the case.
La comisaría se quedaría con este dinero y se lo reembolsaría al final de su caso.
If you use a commercial bonding company, someone will have to pay a fee to the company for their service.
Si usted usa una compañía de fianza, a alguien le tendría que pagar una tarifa a esta compañía por sus servicios.
The fee will not be returned.
Pero esta tarifa no le sería reembolsada.
I don't know what fee will be charged, but it is usually based upon a percentage of the bond.
Yo no sé cuál sería la tarifa que le cobrarían, pero generalmente está basada en un porcentaje de la fianza.
Finally, if you use property to post a bond, the property will need to have a net equity at least 3 times the total amount of the bond.
Finalmente, si usted usa una propiedad para pagar su fianza, la propiedad tendría que tener por lo menos 3 veces la cantidad total de su fianza en capital neto para poder pagar o asegurar su fianza.
Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places.
Algunos de ustedes van a tener condiciones especiales en su fianza donde se le prohíbe ponerse en contacto con ciertas personas o de que vayan a ciertos lugares.
This special condition will be provided to you on a separate form.
Y estas condiciones especiales se le van a dar a usted en un formulario por separado.
You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail.
A usted también se le va a prohibir ponerse en contacto con la víctima mientras usted esté encarcelado.
If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you could remain in jail until your trial.
Y si usted infringe o no cumple las condiciones dadas por el juez, su fianza sería revocada y usted tendría que permanecer encarcelado hasta que su caso vaya a juicio.
You could also receive additional felony charges.
Y también le podrían imputar cargos adicionales por delitos graves.
It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond.
Es importante saber que si una persona está nombrada como la víctima en su caso, a esa persona no se le va a permitir pagar la fianza por usted.
Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail.
A alguno de ustedes se le acusa de delitos por los cuales a este juez por ley no se le permite concederle fianza.
In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date.
En ese caso, Una audiencia para solicitar fianza va a ser programada ante un juez del Tribunal Superior del Condado de Clayton y a usted se le va a informar de cuándo sería esa fecha.
If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time.
Si actualmente usted está bajo libertad condicional, si actualmente usted está bajo libertad condicional. I'm sorry, Judge, can you repeat that for the interpreter?
If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time.
Si actualmente usted está bajo libertad condicional, a este juez no se le permite otorgarle fianza en estos momentos.
Whether bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest.
Si la fianza es apropiada en este caso, se va a tomar en consideración tan pronto el agente de libertad vigilada haya tomado en cuenta este nuevo arresto.
The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you.
El propósito de una audiencia preliminar es determinar si hay suficientes pruebas para sustentar las alegaciones en su contra.
The standard at this stage is very low.
El estándar en esta etapa es muy bajo.
A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred.
Para que un juez determine si los cargos proceden en este momento, solamente tiene que determinar que existe la posibilidad de que el delito fue cometido.
Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing.
Cada uno tiene la habilidad de renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar.
However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing.
Sin embargo, si usted no está seguro, usted debe de hablar con un abogado primero si usted no está seguro si renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar o no.
If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived.
Si usted paga su fianza, la audiencia preliminar se cancela automáticamente.
You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date.
Y usted recibiría una notificación en la dirección que usted dé de cuándo va a ser su próxima corte.
Finally, I need everyone to raise your right hand, please.
Finalmente, yo necesito que todos levanten su mano derecha, por favor.
Do you swear or affirm any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Jura usted y afirma que cualquier declaración que usted dé durante este proceso va a ser la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad, lo jura ante Dios.
Okay, let's start on the male side with Mr. Morales. Mr. Morales, can you see and understand the interpreter?
Señor Morales, ¿puede usted ver y entender al intérprete?
Sí, sí, lo puedo ver.
Yes, I could see her.
Mr. Morales, you've been charged with one count of trafficking in methamphetamine
Señor Morales, a usted se le acusa de un cargo de narcotráfico de metanfetaminas
and 2 counts of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act
y 2 cargos por infringir las leyes antidrogas del estado de Georgia
and possession of drug-related objects.
y posesión de objetos relacionados con las drogas.
I am unable to give you a bond on the trafficking and methamphetamine charge.
Yo no le puedo dar o otorgar una fianza en el cargo de narcotráfico de metanfetaminas.
So I've denied bond on the other 2 felony drug-related offenses.
O sea que yo le negué la fianza en los otros 2 cargos que son por delitos graves relacionados con las drogas.
I've set a bond of $1,500 on the possession of drug-related objects charge.
Y en el cargo de posesión de objetos relacionados con las drogas, yo le otorgué una fianza de $1,500.
I've set a preliminary hearing date for July 19th at 8:30 in the morning.
Yo le programé una audiencia preliminar para el día 19 de julio a las 8:30 de la mañana.
I've also set a bond hearing date for July 23rd at 8:30 in the morning.
Y también le programé una audiencia para fianza para el día 23 de julio a las 8:30 de la mañana.
Currently, both of those hearings are being held by Zoom.
Y actualmente estas dos audiencias las vamos a tener vía Zoom.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
¿Le gustaría a usted que yo vea si usted califica para nombrarle un abogado?
Sí, sí me gustaría.
Yes, I would like that.
You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Usted sí califica y yo le voy a nombrar un abogado para que lo represente.
Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Morales?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta para mí, señor Morales?
No.
No.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Ok, puede retirarse.
Before I allow Ms. Bermudez to leave, can we just make certain on both sides we don't need her services for anyone else?
Not on this side, Judge.
Okay. And not on the male side.
Judge, you need to, got one more.
You got one more? And what's the person's name?
You come. What's his name?
Joe Moreno.
That's probably listed as Mr. Escamilla, Judge.
No, I'm not Mr. Escamilla, I'm Mr. Price.
Okay.
Price, P-A-I-C.
Oh, I see. I see. He's saying that he's not Mr. Escamilla Moreno, that he's Mr. Jose Páez.
Correcto. That's true.
¿Necesita usted intérprete, señor Páez?
No.
Okay, so Mr. Páez speaks English, but the gentleman that the officer named was Mr. Joe Escamilla Moreno.
Yes, he's right here.
Okay. Sir, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Señor, ¿puede usted escuchar y entender a la intérprete?
Sí.
Yes.
What is your name, sir?
¿Cuál es su nombre, señor?
Joel Escamilla.
Okay. Mr. Escamilla, sir, you've been also charged with trafficking and methamphetamine.
Señor Escamilla, a usted también se le acusa de narcotráfico de metanfetaminas.
Also, you've been charged with possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime.
También se le acusa de poseer un arma mientras cometía un delito.
You've been charged with distracted driving and an improper turn.
Se le acusa de manejar distraído y de doblar de una forma inapropiada.
The last two charges are misdemeanors, and I've set bond at $500 apiece for those charges.
Los últimos dos cargos son delitos menores y yo le otorgué una fianza de $500 por cada cargo.
I'm unable to set a bond on the trafficking and methamphetamine charge.
Pero yo no le puedo otorgar una fianza en el cargo de narcotráfico de metanfetaminas.
So I've also not set a bond on the possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime.
Y no le estoy otorgando fianza tampoco en el cargo de poseer o de portar un arma mientras cometía un delito.
I've set a preliminary hearing date for July 19th at 8:30 in the morning.
Yo le programé una audiencia preliminar para el día 19 de julio a las 8:30 de la mañana.
I've also set a bond hearing date for July 23rd at 8:30 in the morning.
También le otorgué una audiencia para pedir fianza para el día 23 de julio a las 8:30 de la mañana.
Currently, both of those hearings are being held by Zoom.
Actualmente, estas dos audiencias las vamos a tener vía Zoom.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of lawyers?
¿Le gustaría a usted que yo vea si usted califica para nombrarle un abogado?
Sí.
Yes.
You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Usted sí califica, señor, y yo le voy a nombrar un abogado para que lo represente.
Do you have any questions of me?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta para mí?
Okay, so you're free to go back.
Ok, señor, puede retirarse.
All right, so we no longer need the services of Ms. Bermudez.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge. You do as well.
All right, let's switch over to the ladies' side.
We ready, Judge, for the first one?
Okay, looks like the first person I have is Miss Alexander. Ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of theft by taking and 1 count of theft by shoplifting. I've set a total bond at $5,000. You believe you can post that bond?
You said, well, I'm sorry.
I set your total bond at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for July 19th at 8:30 in the morning because these are felony charges. And currently those hearings are being held by Zoom. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, but I think my mom already got one, but you can still check just to be on the safe side.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. If your mother has already hired a lawyer, all you need to do is just discharge this lawyer and go with the lawyer that your mother has hired.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Looks like Miss Bejarino. Are you Miss, is it Bejarino?
Bejarano.
Bejarano. Ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle without a license. The bond is set by schedule, which means it's automatically set at $1,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 20th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir. Can I still waive it? Because I have to make a call and
When you say waive it, what's the it?
the preliminary hearing.
You can waive it if you want to, but it has nothing to do with your being able to make a phone call.
Okay.
It's going to be waived by operation of law upon your bonding out. So what I've had before, and it's your decision, right? I'm just here to inform you, but I've had people who they've waived their preliminary hearing and then they get new charges and they weren't able to bond out and they come back and you're like, I'm still here. I haven't had a hearing. So I preset those hearing dates so that if everything goes badly, you know that there's a date that you're coming back to court.
Okay.
But you can waive that. But
Okay.
it doesn't guarantee that you're going to get into court any faster.
Okay. I'm gonna bond out.
Okay. And I'm sorry. Did you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any more questions?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Miss Berry? Are you Miss Berry?
Yes.
Ma'am, you've also been charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle without a valid license. The bond is also set at $1,000. You believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for July 20th at 8:30 in the morning. But that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes,
That's
sir.
why you in here. Stop talking.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
You got my name on it?
Get out.
Okay. You're free to go back, man.
You're not going to. Get up, get up.
Ms. Ford,
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
good morning. Ma'am, you've been charged of 1 count of burglary, 1 count of theft by taking, and 1 count of obstructing or hindering a law enforcement officer. I've set a total bond at $10,000. You believe you can post that bond?
I'm not sure, sir.
Okay. Because these are felony charges, the burglary and the theft by taking, you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for July 19th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived if you're able to bond out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, ma'am. It looks like it froze.
You said what, sir?
It froze for a second. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. These charges seem really weird. I think you and another person were charged with the same thing.
Yes, sir.
The burglary is something that can be a relatively technical offense, but it is a felony offense and it is a serious offense. So the bond is highest on the burglary charge. So just speak with your lawyer about what happened and let the lawyer assist you. Also, you need to contact the bonding companies. They will work with you in order to help you bond out. So
Yes, sir.
don't just resign yourself that you're going to be sitting in jail. Okay, ma'am?
Yes. I have a question for you, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Once I receive the lawyer to represent me, will I be able to prove my innocence?
Yes, that's what the lawyer's for. And that's why we make this appointment as early as possible so that you can speak to the lawyer and the lawyer can assist you in putting together your defense. Uh-oh, looks like the camera froze again. Okay, did you hear? It looks like it froze again. Were you able to hear what I said?
Yes, sir. I heard you.
Okay, any other questions, ma'am?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
All right.
Miss Flickstein?
Hello, sir.
Ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery and 1 count of public drunkenness. I've set a total bond of $4,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for July 20th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out. I'm sorry. Yes, it is July 20th. I wrote the wrong date down. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, ma'am, you do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. It looks like you reside in Florida. Is that correct? So,
I'm moving back here. My son's in Florida, my job is in Florida, but I'm moving here.
okay.
So,
Okay, so just make sure that you keep your address related information current so that you don't miss a court date and have a warrant issued for your arrest. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
can I bond myself out?
Yes.
That I have, I'm not from here and I don't know a person, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of complicated for me and my 10-year-old is home in another state, you know what I mean?
Yes, the bonding companies,
Cause I gave,
sometimes,
I'm sorry.
well, I was gonna say, sometimes what I've heard is that depending on whether the person is a resident here or not, sometimes the bonding companies may not wanna post the bond with your situation of moving here. Of course, that's something that may add to your credibility, for lack of a better term, with the bonding companies. Do you have any family or friends here?
I do not. I have a brother that could drive from North Carolina possibly. I'm just trying to figure out what my options are, because I don't have my phone with me, and if I need to get the numbers out, I literally, my son's
Right.
at school, I've got work, and I have to get back home, but I want to take care of this as well.
Believe it or not, that's a common question that I get asked. People don't remember phone numbers anymore. And so you can use services like 411 or information, things like that, to try to get in contact with people. You also may want to consider, well, your bond at the amount that is set. It can be something that if you have access to the funds, that you can pay the entire bond amount, and that money will be returned to you when your case is resolved. Or if you have to go through a bonding company, and you're getting some kind of resistance or pushback from bonding companies here, you may be able to contact the bonding company in the county where you live in Florida, and they may assist you, where the bonding companies basically work together, and that bonding company in Florida will come onto the bond, and then they will contact the bonding company here, and so they both work together, and that way they don't have concerns. Because my understanding is the main concern is that if you were to skip, if you were not to appear, and the bonding company here wrote the bond, they would have to expend the money to go to Florida to try to find you. But if they have another bonding company that they're working with, and you were to skip, quote unquote, it's something local there, and it wouldn't cost as much to try to retrieve you. Okay. Any other questions, ma'am?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Ms. Garcia?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Yes.
Ms. Garcia, ma'am, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. I've set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Salvador Garcia. Do you understand that?
No, I don't understand it because he's my husband.
Yes, but he's also the person that's named as the victim in this case.
The victim?
Yes, ma'am.
So where am I supposed to go?
It's a stay away provision to stay away from Mr. Garcia. If Mr. Garcia is not in the home, you can go back to the home.
Okay.
So just so you understand, whatever happened yesterday led to police involvement and led to your being arrested. We place a stay away provision on the bond initially because we don't want whatever dispute or disturbance that led to your appearing before me today to get rekindled this evening. Now, Mr. Garcia, he can contact the solicitor's office and say, I'm not afraid of her. That was my wife. It got out of hand. I don't want this condition to be on her. And the solicitor will look into it. And if it appears like just some one-off thing, they will approach the judge with another bond condition. And either is no violent contact or the condition is removed. But because I don't have both sides before me today, I can't get into that issue. Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 20th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, it looks like the computer is frozen. Okay, I didn't hear your response. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
So I won't be able to get out until 3,000. Is
Uh,
based.
well, you can go through a bonding company and pay a percentage. It's probably 10%.
Okay. No, I don't have anything.
Okay. Any other questions, ma'am?
No, that was
Okay,
it.
ma'am, you're free to go back. Hmm. Ms. Gray,
She didn't make it, Judge.
I'm sorry.
She didn't make it, Judge. She was, acting out during court.
Okay, is that was the person that was the disturbance that I heard in the background?
Yes, sir.
So do I need to do a continuance order for her to be brought back tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see. Next person we have will be Miss McNeely. Miss McNeely, you are listed as a fugitive from justice.
Yes, sir.
And deputies, do you have the waivers for Miss McNeely?
We do.
Okay. So, ma'am, you're listed as what's called a fugitive from justice, which means that Pike County Sheriff's Office in Alabama wants you for felony marijuana possession charge, and they've indicated that they will seek to extradite you. You have the right to contest that extradition. And if you were to contest that extradition sometime within the next 30 days, there would be a hearing to determine whether you are the person named in the warrant and whether the charges are true charges. We would not be there to determine whether you're guilty or innocent of the charges because we have no interest in that. If you believe you are the person named, and if you believe that those charges are valid, you can waive that hearing. And if you waive that hearing, the state of Alabama will have up to 60 days to come get you. It's an initial 30-day period, and they can call and request an additional 30 days. But if they don't come and get you, the sheriff's department here will release you. Doesn't mean the charges have been dismissed, doesn't mean the warrant has been dismissed. And so you can be released out the front door. 5 minutes later, you interact with a police officer. They run your name and they say there's a warrant, and you get arrested, and the whole thing starts all over again. It appears that you may have a little bit of understanding about this process. Do you have any questions of me? Looks like it froze. Computer froze again.
Okay,
Okay,
there.
I didn't hear your response. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Do you have an idea of what you want to do? What do you want to do?
I want to waive it. Yes, sir.
Okay, sign the waiver. The deputies, they will deliver it to me, and then the clock will start ticking today. I'll sign it. The clock
Do
start
I
ticking.
sign both of these?
You said all of it.
Okay.
So just take a opinion.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, once she signs those waivers, she'll be free to go back.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see. Looks like we have Miss Preston.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Miss Preston, ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of simple battery and 1 count of criminal trespass. I've set a total bond of $5,000. You believe you can post that bond?
I don't know.
Okay.
Sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Craig Sharp. Do you understand that?
That's my husband too.
Yes, and the same logic applies. If Mr. Sharp is not afraid of you, he can contact the solicitor's office and he can have them consider waiving that condition. That's what we've had things go both ways, where people have been cutting people's gas lines and everything else. So this condition will stay until it's removed. Mr. Sharp is the person that can have that removed. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 20th, at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, ma'am. You're free to go back. Miss Shelby?
No, she bonded out, sir.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you. Miss Story?
One second, Judge.
Okay.
You have some other people for court? Victor and Williams and Alexander? That was in there, right? Go to my room.
Miss Stewart, ma'am, you've been charged with one count of possession of methamphetamine. I've set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Honestly, sir,
Yes, ma'am.
no, sir.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You're on disability?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that you do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. I am going to reduce your bond to $1,500. I hope that helps in your ability to bond out. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 19th at 8:30 in the morning because this is a felony offense. That date will get waived upon your ability to bond out. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Yeah.
What is it? What's it?
Miss Terry?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you've been charged with one count of possession of methamphetamine and one count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. I've set a total bond at $4,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
God willing.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for July 19th because the methamphetamine is a felony offense. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's the last person I have on the ladies' side. Is that the last person you have?
Yes, sir. Do you have anything on the Alexander?
I'm sorry.
Do you have anything on the Alexander?
Let's see.
She was on the list, but I didn't have a CAA form for her.
He was the first person.
Mhm.
And I do believe, yeah, there's a CAA form that she filled out. Is it the Jacoya Risha Alexander? Is that the name you have?
Okay, we got a judge. She went first.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
That was all, Judge.
All right. Thank you for your assistance. Have a good day.
Yes, sir.
Let's move over to the mail side.
All right.
All right. First person I have is Mr. Ball. Do we have Mr. Ball?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Ball, sir, you've been charged with one count of theft by taking motor vehicle. I set the bond at $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 19th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived if you're able to post bond. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Marine?
Borohan, sir.
Okay,
Hey, how you doing, Your Honor?
hi, Mr. Is it Boruin?
Below him? Yes, sir.
Borohan. Sir, you've been charged with one count of window tint violation and one count of possession of THC oil. I've set the bond at $3,500 total bond. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because the THC oil is a felony offense, you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for July 19th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
As a matter of fact, I have a lawyer of my own.
okay. So, do you want to stay with that lawyer?
So let me. I heard you over talking with another inmate that you could appoint him a lawyer, and then if you
Yes.
then you could discharge him. So you know what, I would do that. I would like to do that.
Oh, okay. How much do you earn per hour or per month?
I'm a barber. I'm a licensed barber, so it ranges from like 3,000 to 4,000 a month.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. And if you desire to hire your own lawyer, just discharge this lawyer and go with the lawyer that you hire.
So yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bird? Mr. Bird, you've been charged with one count of possession of firearm by a convicted felon, one count of entering automobile, one count of giving false name and address of date of birth, and one count of theft by taking. I've set a total bond for these four offenses at $12,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 19th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Bird. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Cobb?
You said Clyde?
COBB.
He butted out, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
No problem, sir.
Mr. Cody? Mr. Cody, sir, you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass. I set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir, I believe so, but I believe that might be a little steep being that I just got off of vacation. Do you think you could do a little better, or that's the best we can do?
Okay, let me look. I'm gonna look into that. First, there's gonna be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Yamanji Murray. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. We can set it at the price you said, and I just come up with it, Your Honor.
Okay. There's gonna be a preliminary hearing date set for July 20th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I would.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Cody?
Yes, sir. Who did she talk to in order to release the orders of the bond?
The stay away provision, she would have to contact the solicitor's office. That's the office that is going to prosecute the case.
Okay,
And so they would just have to, she would have to contact them and they'll make that determination, okay?
yes, sir. You said 3,500 or 3,000?
3,000.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, give me 1 second. You're free to go back, sir.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay, sorry about that. Mr. Danley. I just saw it at the corner of my eye running across. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, 1 count of use or possession of drug-related objects, 1 count or 2nd count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, which is possession of cocaine and improper turn. So the first charge is possession with intent to distribute marijuana. I've set a $10,000 bond for that. And $1,500 for use or possession of drug-related objects, $3,000 for the possession of cocaine, and $500 for improper turn. So that's a total bond of $15,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
15,000?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for July 19th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Don't go outside.
Okay, I'm going to find that you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
You said the bond, the total is 15,000?
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, you're free to go back.
All right.
Is it Mr. Dykes? Is he still here or he bonded out?
Yes.
Are you Hakeem Dykes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, you charge 1 count of driving a vehicle without a valid license and 1 count of possession of less than an ounce of marijuana. The bond for both of these offenses are set by schedule, which means they're automatically set. The total bond is going to be $2,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 20th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Elliott? Give me 1 second, Mr. Elliott. Are we coming back up on the lady side?
No, I'm in the lower release. I have 3 medical inmates down here. So
Okay. Would you tell me their names?
list down here. Hold on, I'll get them, Judge.
Okay. Hold tight, Mr. Elliott.
Yes, sir.
Okay, while we're waiting, Mr. Elliott, sir, you're charged with 1 count of theft by taking, 1 count of theft by shoplifting. You also are going to have a total bond set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because the theft by taking is a felony offense, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 19th. at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Elliott, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Do you think the final court date will be in July around that time?
I honestly don't know. My understanding of how things are operating now as it relates to this COVID-related times is that the district attorney is trying to work on cases and give like offers of resolution as quickly as possible. And with the understanding that, you know, if the person says no, there's going to be a trial, and that'll be something that'll probably happen months out. As when I've seen some judges, their trial calendars, which mean cases are ready for trial, have more than 200 people on them. Okay. So currently you have a preliminary hearing date set for July 19th, but once you bond out, that date is going to get reset. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions, sir?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Evans? Mr. Evans, sir, you've been charged with one count of improper turn, one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, one count of possession with intent to distribute, one count of use of possession of drug-related objects, and one count of possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. I've set a total bond at $15,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 19th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, Mr. Evans, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Is it Mr. Fatui? Did you bond out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Gray? Is Mr. Gray there, or did he bond out?
Judge, I have for two of you right here.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Gray, would you stand by for a second? I was asking about the names, Deputy, because if you just have three, I can just do those three individuals right now.
Yes, sir. I have Fatui, Johnson, and Williams.
Okay. Okay, we can start with Mr. Fatui. Mr. Gray, stand by. I'm coming back to you in a second, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gray?
Yes, sir.
Your bonds are set by schedule, which means they're automatically set. The concealed carry, that's set at $5,000. That's a misdemeanor charge, and driving a car without a license, that's another misdemeanor charge. So you're gonna have a total bond set at $6,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 20th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Gray, you're free to go back. I'm ready with Mr. Fatui.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with 1 count of loitering or prowling. The bond is automatically set at $1,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Sir, can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Me and this Mexican, I work in tax cleaning. Yesterday, I was wait for my daughter 8 o'clock to pick me up. I moved to over there in North Atlanta. Police show up. They what I'm doing over there. I said, I'll wait for my daughter. Come pick me up 8 o'clock.
Okay, Mr. Fatui, let me stop you. I'm going to dismiss this charge. Okay, I'm going to dismiss the charge.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir, just stay away from that gas station.
No, I walk over there, sir. I was waiting for my daughter.
Okay.
I moved to a new place.
Okay. Well, I'm going to dismiss the charge, okay, sir?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
God bless.
Mr. Johnson. Charging with loitering or prowling. Is drinking a beer behind a gas station. People, they just. Okay, while we're waiting on Mr. Johnson, let me call Mr. Hall.
Yeah, that was good right there.
He butted out, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Harris. Okay, stand by, Mr. Harris. Give me 1 second. Mr. Johnson. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of use of possession of drug-related objects, 1 count of pedestrian soliciting. Stay there, Mr. Harris. Sir, your bond is going to be set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
I'm not sure. I haven't called my family yet. I don't know. I don't have money like you guys. Supposed to be like that. I can't even borrow.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, are you currently working?
No, I'm on disability, sir, and they're gonna take me off. I don't know what's gonna happen to my life, but I'm just saying.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, I'm going to find that you qualify for the appointment of lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Mr. Johnson, just stay away from that location, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, you're free to go back, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Harris, while we're waiting on Mr. Williams. Mr. Harris, sir, you're charged with 1 count of fleeing, attempting to elude, 1 count of driving on the wrong side of the roadway, 1 count of reckless driving, 1 count of obstruction of an officer. You're going to have a total bond set at $12,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? These are felony charges, fleeing and attempting to elude and obstruction of an officer. So you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 19th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, Mr. Harris? Okay. Okay, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, Yes, sir. I'm not from down here, and when I checked out my clothes, the guy, I ended up getting away all my numbers. So I ain't got no contact with my family member.
Okay, where are you from? It just says Princess Lane on your form.
Oh, Rossville, Georgia.
Huntsville?
Rossville, Georgia.
Okay.
But
What you're gonna have to do is try to use 411. Also the bonding companies, because they have a financial interest in getting your business. I've seen that they will assist people in getting in contact with relatives or people that could help post a bond or help them get out.
Thank you.
Okay, so try those avenues, sir.
Thank
All right. Mr. Williams.
Hope I ain't in too much trouble. I got crabs.
I'm sorry, sir.
I hope I ain't in too much trouble. I got crabs. I just had an Ocean Pacific swim trunk, and they was about to beat up this Indian lady, security guard. Riverdale police came, brought me that because I'm the fire department. I'm a sheriff security guard for Officer Johnson, and also I'm a graduate of DARE, and also 8-1 class red, a summer camp. So I had on swimming trunks without no underwear. If I had on trouser underwear, like my underwear with Fruit of the Looms, then when I pulled out I called it distraction because they was about to jump on the young lady, Riverwood ABC, Riverwood security guard.
Mr. Williams, give me 1 second, sir. You're charged with public indecency, and what I hear you saying is that
I sacrificed myself. I sacrificed myself.
Mr. Williams, the only way that we can have a conversation is that, yes, sir. So, Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams.
Yes, sir.
Are you under
right now I'm on no type of medication.
No medications. Have you ever been prescribed medications?
Yes, sir. On the medication I prescribed is Depakote, which is for Ritalin, and also Geodon for my stiff, a female, because I got a deficiency in my sex, like you. So I like to be your beta. And Sharia Nash for Figure
8. Mr. Williams, why were you at this address on Upper Riverdale Road?
What address? At Walmart?
Where you got arrested?
Shopping.
I'm sorry, sir?
Shopping for the fire department, the sheriff office of Atlanta, Astro Bond. I'm in Alpha Bond account, or Astro Bond. I'm bound for Astro Bond. Nipsey Hussle. William, that's me.
Okay.
Nipsey Hussle, Newport Deluxe, that's him.
Okay, Mr. Williams, I'm gonna dismiss this charge, sir.
All right, thanks, sir.
All right.
What, do I got any compensation or anything like that? Because I got insurance.
Compensation for what?
My liability for sexual insurance. I got full coverage on FOP in DeKalb County, which I have IT Mobile, with two-way also for the fire department, and also EMS on Mercedes. On Maybach, my name is Chris Black, Maybach Mercedes.
Mr. Williams, the reason I was asking about why were you at this location, because you indicate that you live at an address in Decatur, Georgia.
Yeah, I was trying to catch a bus at Greyhound. With security, I was at Magic City trying to get in and drink some, have steak and dinner while I eat at Crazy Horse at Rumors at the Gentleman Club. I used to work at the Shoney's at the Magnolia Lounge. And my supervisor was Otis. So the supervisor then held me down as I took parts off another Mercedes, which is a 220 SCN Silver at Alpha Bonding Company got missing, which the number is 404
Oh, okay, I don't need that information, Mr. Williams.
I got my own bonding company. If anybody out there,
Mr. Williams, Mr. Williams,
I'm
Mr.
the
Williams,
parole
Mr. Williams, Mr. Williams, Mr. Williams.
Can I speak, Judge?
No, sir, stop. Let Mr. Williams,
Yes, sir. I see the crown around your head.
Mr. Williams,
Yes, sir. I'm a preacher too.
Mr. Williams.
Yes, sir. Ephesians.
I'm trying to show you some grace, sir, in dismissing these charges.
Yes, sir.
I'm not about to let you have a commercial about bonding company or anything like that.
No,
If
it's a good bond.
Mr. Williams,
Yes,
I
sir.
need you to understand and listen to me. I do these hearings almost every day. If you come back before me again, I'm not going to dismiss the charge.
That's cool. I can pay for it. I want
Okay.
to pay cash bond.
Okay. All right. You're free to go back, Mr. Williams. Is that it for the medical side?
Yes, sir. I wanted to get you the bond so I can bond for you. For 5-2, 5-2, house of bond company, Mexico, mobile phone.
Okay. Let's go back to Mr. Henry. Is that it for the medical?
Yes, sir.
You know, the interesting thing with Mr. Williams, as he says that he owns a bonding company, his charges are preset that he could have bonded himself out if he had a bonding company. But he's trying to advertise that he's gonna bond other people out and can't bond himself out.
And that's why he been telling every inmate that he would bond everybody out.
Okay, Mr. Henry, sir, you've been charged with one count of driving a vehicle with a suspended license. The bond is automatically set at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for July 20th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, you said no?
I say yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. How much do you earn either per hour or per month?
$21 an hour.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Henry. Mr. Jones? It's like crazy as Cooter's cat. Mrs. Jones, sir, you're charged with 1 count of burglary, 1 count of theft by taking, and 1 count of obstructing an officer. I've set bonds in all of these offenses. You're gonna have a total bond set at $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for July 19th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
He has to be on the safe side. I believe my mom has one, but just on the safe side, yes, sir.
Okay. How much do you earn per hour or per month?
I just got this job at Kroger overnight. It was $13 an hour.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. And if your mother hires another lawyer, you can just discharge the lawyer that I'm appointing and go with the lawyer that your mother has hired, okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Kent.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Mr. Kent, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, sir. I'm going to say I missed 2 days of work. If there any way you can possibly help me, so I can get back to work. Is there anything you can do? If not, I'm sure I probably can. Just try to see reaching out to some family members. But if there's anything you can do, I would definitely appreciate it.
You were arrested on June 1st. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to look up your criminal history, but while I'm doing that, there's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Yolanda Kent. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for July 20th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay. All right, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm almost getting to your name. I have like 500 pages of documents that I got to scroll through.
I understand, sir.
Where this one?
Okay.
Where this one going? What, going to medical? All right. I didn't want to leave because I didn't know which way it was going, so. So you want me to take it?
Are you still on probation, Mr. Kent?
No, sir. And we've been married 22 years, officer, and she just called and then it just, I was able to explain it. But just if there's anything you can do.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do, Mr. Kent. I'm gonna reduce it to $1,500. There's not an allegation of violence from you towards your wife. It's breaking property. It's a good idea to just leave.
I am, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay.
You're free to go back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. It's Mr. Mason, OTB.
Mason Sergio, sir.
Yeah, I don't have a bond order, but I do have a warrant, and generally that means that he's bonded out. He's charged with driving while unlicensed, which is an offense that he can bond himself out on. So just for my record keeping, I try to make sure that I keep up with it as I go along. So do you know if he's bonded out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem, sir.
Mr. McCallan.
McCallan Michael. Yeah. McCallan Michael is not here, sir.
Okay.
Was based on this paperwork that I have, he was still an intake. So
He was still, so I'll probably see him tomorrow.
That's correct, sir.
Okay, I'll make a notation.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell, sir, you're charged with 1 count of possession with the intent to distribute. What is this? Marijuana. I've set a bond at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for July 19th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna find that you do qualify, Mr. Mitchell. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Newton.
Same thing as Newton, sir. Paperwork, he was still in intake, so it'll probably be tomorrow, sir.
Okay. Mr. Pais?
Yeah, right.
Tell me how to pronounce your last name, sir.
Paice, P-A-I-C.
Okay. Sir, I am going to dismiss this charge.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to ask you to stay away from that gas station.
Sure.
And it looks like they tried to give you a warning to stay away. So if you go back up there, you're going to get arrested.
That's true, because I was doing some cleaning.
Okay. So charge is going to be dismissed.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Mr. Pina. Same gas station.
No. Come, Michael Pina or other Pina?
Peter Michael, sir. Anthony
Yes,
first.
sir. Yes, sir. Are you Mr. Michael Pina? Okay, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of failing to dim your headlights, 1 count of driving a vehicle without your license on your person, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and use or possession of drug-related objects. You're gonna have a total bond set of $4,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yeah.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for July 20th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Hey, lawyer, but I have a question also.
I'm sorry, sir.
Hey, lawyer, but I have a question also.
Okay, yeah, what's your question?
I was gonna ask you, really, can you dismiss the weed charge? Because it was literally, I want to say smaller than a penny. You found it under my seat just to take me to jail. You know what I'm saying? My record, I understand they gonna look my record up and mess with me every some time. This simple case of harassment. I did dim my headlights when I pulled up on them and all that. I had my license on me, but it was in my trunk. They wouldn't let me get it. I showed him a picture of it when he asked for it. You know, and it's just a simple case of harassment, to be honest with you. I've been through a lot in Clayton County.
So I can't, at this stage, I make technical determinations, looking at it and seeing if it fits technically under the law. For something like this, I wouldn't be able to do it unless I was at a preliminary hearing, because I would have both sides and I can ask the questions that I need to ask. What I would suggest is that you make sure you tell your lawyer about this, because based upon what you described, I would probably dismiss it if we were at a preliminary hearing, but I can't do it here because I don't have the ability to question the other side.
Also, I got a ticket like 2 weeks ago on the same road for more weed than this. They gave me a ticket and you said you couldn't give me a ticket. I was just trying to figure out what the law was saying or what.
It looks like this was at 2:20 in the morning.
Something like that, 120. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna ask this question, and feel free not to answer it. I'm not requiring you to answer it. But were you like coming from work or anything like that?
I was coming from home to the store to get some milk for my niece.
I'm sorry?
I was coming from home to go to the store to get some milk for my niece.
So I've been a defense lawyer for more than 20 years, and what I've observed is that these overnight situations, really, there's not a lot going on, and you increase the likelihood of getting pulled over for stuff that it doesn't look like this would have happened if it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm not saying what happened was right or wrong. I'm just saying, talk to your lawyer about it, okay?
Low to total my bond though, 5,000, 4,000.
So you got $500 for the failure to dim lights, $500 for license not on person, 1,500 for the possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and 1,500 for the use or possession of drug-related objects. I'll reduce that to $500. So you'll have a total bond of $3,000. Okay? All right, sir. Good luck to you. Do you have Mr. Penny there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I do not have the warrant for Mr. Penny. I believe I'd spoken to Miss Bernie and she was looking for the warrant. It was, you got some seatbelt charge or something like that. Is that correct?
He told me I had warrants, but the warrants that they told me I had already cleared them up. So I guess they forgot to vacate it. So I think that's why I'm here right now. I already bonded out, but they told me I had to wait or whatever.
So it looks like because the seatbelt charge is something that you can bond out on, my understanding is that they are looking for whatever this information is as it relates to the fugitive from justice, because that's something that will have to get cleared up. Do you have a lawyer that represented you in that prior?
I just don't have contact with him at the moment. I've been trying to get in contact with him, but I mean, I don't have my phone or anything. They was only limited to these 3 numbers, but I just don't have contact with him right now.
Okay, so what's going to happen, Mr. Penny, is I'm going to continue this over to my calendar tomorrow, and I'm going to contact the individuals in the sheriff's department. My understanding is that they were putting that information together. What you should do, sir, is contact the lawyer. If this has been resolved, for you to have this charge, that means it's still showing somewhere. And so I would not be in a position to make a determination as to whether that's been resolved or not been resolved. It's really sort of a thing where if it's still showing as a pending warrant, then you're in that box of, hey, we're holding this person for this jurisdiction. They said this warrant is pending. All we do is send the person along. Between now and tomorrow, you're going to have to, if what you said to me is true, in order for you to get out tomorrow, either your lawyer is going to have to appear or the sheriff's department is going to check it and make a determination that it's no longer pending. And if they check on that, because your case was something that I was discussing earlier, so I know that they're already looking into it. And if they make a determination that this warrant is no longer pending, you will not see me tomorrow. You'll be bonded out and you'll be on your way.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions for me, Mr. Penny?
So they told me about the extradition. So that's on hold right now, basically.
Yes, because I don't have the information. What in the conversation that I had earlier this morning about your situation, there was 2 things going on. There was a seatbelt charge that you had posted bond on. So that goes to a totally different place in the jail. So they were contacting those people to see if this fugitive from justice information was in your file folder. Okay, because think about it from this standpoint. When you get arrested, your file goes to one place in the jail, and those are the people that run your criminal history. They prepare the packets and everything so that you can appear before me or you can bond out. Because the seatbelt charge is something that you can bond out on, and if somebody posted your bond, your file may have gone to the location in the jail where they process people to be released. So if this fugitive for justice information is showing up in that file, they're going to have to get it and pull it back, because the way that it happens, there's another place in the jail that deals with fugitives. And all they do is say, this person is wanted out of Alabama. So they contact the sheriff's department in Alabama that says it's showing up, hey, we have this person here. Do you want this person? Do you not want this person? So it may be a situation where your file is moving in 3 different locations because you have 3 different things going on. But this issue is, we are aware of it. The people from the jail are aware of it. They've contacted me about it. So this is not going to be something that's going to fall through the cracks. Yes, sir.
Wasn't they supposed to like before they even took me in, wasn't they supposed to like prove that they officially wanted me to be extradited?
So normally when you're a fugitive from justice, you don't have any charges pending in Clayton County. So under normal fugitive from justice situation, your file goes to the fugitive division, okay? Because there was a charge, seatbelt charge, now there's also fugitive from justice, and there's people trying to get ready for first appearance. So because of these complications, your file could be in one of 3 places, when ordinarily it would just be in one place. It would be with the fugitive squad. And so the person that I spoke to this morning, they were already calling about your file. They actually contacted me about your file to say, hey, look, he has this seatbelt thing. Looks like he may have posted bond on it. We're trying to figure out what's going on with the fugitive from justice. But that means that the person that I would normally talk to has to talk to 2 other people to figure out what's going on. So I know I'm explaining it to you just so that you understand this is not something where people are just, they don't care and your situation is not being looked into. But they've already reached out to me and people are working on it, and we're gonna have an answer. And like I said, if what you told me is true, what will happen is the person that's in the fugitive squad would be the person that contacts whatever jurisdiction and say, hey, we have Mr. Penny here. It says in our system that he has a warrant for his arrest. Do you want this person? And they'll say, oh, no, that's been cleared up. Or they'll say, yes, we want him. Or they'll say, no, we're not going to come get him. So if it's been cleared up, or they say, no, they don't want to come get him, somebody's going to knock on your door and say, pack your stuff, get out.
So right now, they don't know if they want me or not, basically.
Yes. And the reason that that's happening is because the person that I speak to is not in the fugitive division. So like I said, she contacted me. We've spoken about your case. She's been trying to find wherever your file went. Okay.
All right.
Any other questions?
That's all.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Price.
Hello, Your Honor.
Mr. Price, sir, you've been charged with aggravated assault, simple battery, simple assault, and criminal trespass. Bond is going to be denied on the aggravated assault charge. At this stage, I've set bonds of $5,000 for the simple battery and simple assault, and $3,000 for the criminal trespass. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Chastity Smith. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 19th at 8:30 in the morning. I'm also setting a bond hearing date for July 23rd at 8:30 in the morning. I understand. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, but I was never read my rights or anything, or like I asked like why was I being arrested? No one never said nothing. They just locked me up. and they didn't read me my charges. They only read me 2.
So you don't know the allegations against you?
You just told me when I got in here. I knew. I never knew when I was arrested.
Okay, and and the reason I'm asking that question in that way is because the allegations that are against you are not generally things that we discuss in sort of an open forum. So if you understand the allegation being made against you, I don't have to say anything about it, but I just don't want you to be in a position where you don't understand the seriousness of the allegations against you.
So I don't have a bond.
No, sir. Would you like, Mr. Price, would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Price. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. These are serious charges, sir, and you may want to look into hiring a private attorney.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Sims. There's an allegation that he molested her previously. He was caught trying to pull her pants down. Mr. Sims, sir, you're charged with 1 count of operating a vehicle with defective headlights, 1 count of an open container violation, and 1 count of driving under influence of alcohol. You're gonna have a total bond set of $6,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, but I got a question though.
Yes, sir.
He charged with the DUI failure because he said I didn't want to take the test. But I
Yes.
I took every test out on the road, walk, the stand, everything. I jumped in the car and told him I'd take the test. But he was like, "Oh, you getting arrested?" I was like, "So what's the point of taking the test?" I never refused the test.
So hold on. Okay, so it does show that you did take the test or submitted yourself to be to have the field sobriety test done on the side of the road. It also indicates that in the officer's opinion that you were performing poorly on the test. It looks like he says he read you the implied consent and that you agreed to have blood drawn. Was there blood drawn?
No.
Okay, that may be where the officer is listing it as a refusal. This is something that you definitely are going to need to speak to your lawyer about. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Sims. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 20th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you have any other questions for me?
No.
Did I answer your question?
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Okay, I mean, I'm here to answer questions. So if I didn't answer it, please tell me what I need to clarify.
I mean, I never refused the test. That was the whole purpose he was putting me behind in his car.
So most likely there's a body cam and probably a dash cam from the vehicle, and that's something you should speak to your lawyer about because you can obtain that information and that will help answer that question.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Is there a Mr. Souter, or is he OTB?
He's OTB.
Okay, Mr. Thomas. Africa Cortez Thomas. Get started to almost 1:30. Mr. Thomas, sir, you're charged with 1 count of theft by receiving stolen property, being a motor vehicle, and 1 count of driving on a suspended license. I've set a total bond of $21,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for July 19th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
What's that,
I'm sorry?
percent of that 21?
Yes, sir.
I'll see.
How much do you earn per hour or per month?
Just got hired, doing construction, so just like 2 days ago.
How much did you agree to get paid per hour?
13.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Raphael Thomas. Mr. Thomas, sir, you're charged with 1 count of battery. The bond is going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Celester Harris. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for July 20th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Did you fill out a form for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah, they can't get me last. At my cell.
Okay. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, sir?
Yes.
Are you currently working?
No, not at this time.
I'm sorry?
This time? No, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Thomas. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, so you're free to go back. Finally, Mr. Tillman. Mr. Tillman, sir, you've also been charged with battery. The bond has been set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Amanda Staten. Do you understand that?
Sure.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 20th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
You can, but we'll have family representation.
Okay. You're on like the bubble on the high end. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. And you get your family representation. You can just discharge this lawyer and go with the lawyer your family chooses. Do you have any questions for me?
How do I properly discharge that lawyer? Will he be in contact with us?
Yes, and I don't know when the lawyer will be in contact with you. If your family is making arrangements to hire a lawyer, you'll probably have the private lawyer hired before you hear from the public defender.
Copy that.
And so if they contact you, just tell them, hey, I have a lawyer, and go about your business.
Sure.
All right, anything else, sir? Okay, sir, you're free to go back. That's it. That what I have. Is there anyone else?
Oh, I got 3 more.
Who are the 3 you have? Are those the ones that were in medical?
Newton. Ronnie Newton.
Ronnie Newton.
Yeah.
Okay, I have you, Mr. Newton, but let's see. Okay, I had a notation that Mr. Newton was still in intake. Mr. Newton, sir, you're charged with 1 count of driving on a suspended license and 1 count of failure to yield the right of way when turning left. Both of these bonds are set by schedule, which means they're automatically set. So it's going to be $2,000, but you're probably going to get a little bit of higher number from the sheriff's department because they're required by law to add fees to the bond. So do you believe you can post this bond?
No, sir, but the driving on suspended is incorrect. It's a failure to appear. But I did appear. It's just not showing on the record. Obviously, I mean, I had the paperwork in the car to show the officer where it had been paid. See, I just got a new car, and I got it's. You look on the website, and it says my license is good, but I don't know why.
So from what they have written here is that the suspension date was listed as April 23rd of this year. And it says that it's for a failure to appear from a court date that was October 2nd of 2020.
I took care of it.
Okay. So do you know what jurisdiction that was in?
Henry County.
Henry County. Did you have a lawyer representing you at that time?
Yeah. It was
okay.
Now, I mean, there was a failure to appear, but I went to the courthouse and took care of it. And then I got the release on my license and everything. The lady said everything was fine. I said, I'm good to go. She said, yeah.
Okay. So I can't adjudicate that now because I can't determine whether you're guilty or innocent of anything. But if this is a situation where you had that taken care of and it wasn't reported to the Department of Driver Services, you may need to contact a lawyer and consider taking civil action against Henry County.
Oh, really? Okay, because I just bought a car and I had insurance, and I gave them my license. They said my license was good too. Everybody says my license is good, except for it popped up on there, a failure to appear from back then.
And that's why you probably would need to speak to a lawyer about that, because if you're getting arrested because someone failed to remove something out of the system, that's something you should speak to a lawyer about.
So, I mean, but as of right now, there's nothing to do about it.
I can't do anything about it right now. This is something that because I don't have the other side. So I have your version. And if I had the other side here, I could ask those questions and get to the bottom of it. But because I don't, I just can't take unilateral action. But I can point you in the direction of the allegation that's being made. And if what you're telling me is correct, you really should consider speaking to a lawyer.
I'm just stuck now. I mean, I can't get out. I can't do nothing.
Well, contact the bonding companies. That's their business model, is getting people out of jail. They will work with you. They'll put you on a payment plan. They'll do a lot of things that you don't.
I need to pay for a bond. I can pay for the bond out of my debit card in right here in the jail, but I don't have anybody that will come actually bond me out. You know what I'm saying? If I get signed an OR bond or something, I could do it. But yeah,
So in the position or description that you've given me, contact the bonding company. They will come and you'll be amazed at the things that they will do to earn your business.
really. Okay.
Okay.
I'll try and bond myself. Can I bond myself out?
The short answer is possibly, and the reason I say the short answer is because I don't make policy over there at the sheriff's department. So if this is a situation where you're needing to get access to your card, just speak to someone about it and they'll tell you what they can or can't do. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, or are you going to hire your own lawyer?
I mean, I can't. I mean, court appointed.
Okay. All right. I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Newton. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for July 20th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any other questions for me, sir?
No, not at all.
Okay, you're free to go back. Who's the next person? Tell me your name, sir. McAllen? Okay. Mr. McAllen, sir, you're charged with robbery by sudden snatching, aggravated assault, theft by taking, battery, simple battery, criminal trespass. Actually, 3 counts of criminal trespass. I'm sorry, 3 counts of simple battery and 1 count of theft by taking. Bond is going to be denied on the felony offenses at this point. I've set bonds on the battery, criminal trespass, simple battery, and 3 counts of simple battery, all at $5,000 a piece. I'm setting a preliminary hearing date for July 19th at 8:30 in the morning. I'm also setting a bond hearing date for July 23rd at 8:30 in the morning. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, I do.
Are you currently working, Mr. McAllen?
I'm unemployed.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me? Okay, you're free to go back. This dude tried to rob 3.
Gardner, did you need Penny for something?
Penny, we discussed, we're gonna try to figure out what's going on with the fugitive from justice warrant. So I'm just gonna bring him back over tomorrow. I had a discussion with Miss Bernie, and she was trying to find his folder. And what he discussed is that he believed the warrants were dismissed. So that's something that once his folder is found, either it's been dismissed and he goes home, or it's still there, and we'll do him tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Do you have anybody else?
That's it.
Okay. Are you going to be working tomorrow?
No, I don't know if I'm doing first appearance tomorrow, but I'll be
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your assistance, sir.